and welcome to the Tuesday Tell All. My name is Bobby Fazio. This is Driver Interviews with Bobby Fazio's channel. At Driver Interviews is the handle. It's Tuesday already. Tuesday, December, 19th, I think? So, man, it's almost Christmas. Christmas is here. I got to finish my shopping. I don't know about you guys. I don't know how you guys are dealing with it, but it's I'm like 75% of the way finished. So I better get cracking. Anyways, I got the important ones. I got my wife's gifts. Okay, those are the important ones, right? After that, the other ones can they can wait a little bit. But good to see everybody on here. It's the end of the year. It's getting dark way too early, like 4:15 now, where I am over here in the dirty Jers, and that's just the way it is until I don't know. I guess right about now it starts going the other way. Now we start gaining a minute every day. Bruce Fulper, what's going on? How you doing? All right, Tom Mayoli's checking in. It's raining in the West Coast. How about that? Are you kidding me? Wow, Walt Walker's third in line. That's unusual. Let's go. How you doing, Walt? Happy Tuesday. Walt might be joining us for a little bit tonight. We'll see if he chimes in. Tom Baker, there he is. Let's go. What's up, Tom? Tom Gint, how you doing from Mooresville? Merry Christmas to you too, Tom. Mark Sargenti, my car owner, there he is. How you doing, Mark? Jimmy Carter's here. Jimmy Carter, America's favorite president, right? Michael Borst, how you doing? Nice to see you. Thanks for joining in. Good to see you. Scott Cat, Merry Christmas from Michigan. Hope you missed flooding. Dude, we had the storm of the century the other night. It was bad, man. It was bad. Sunday night going into Monday. Raining so hard, so windy. All right, listen to this creepiness, okay? It was so windy that my Ring doorbell, the thing with the camera on it, fell off. This is crazy, okay? Water got behind it, we'll say, because it was not sealed up all the way. And the doorbell rang in the middle of the night, shorted out and rang in the middle of the night at 3 o'clock in the morning. So, who's got to go check it out? The guy always got to go check it out, right? I go down there looking around, got my, protection, if you will, and realized that the ring was just shorted out and was on the ground, and that was it. And then I brought it inside, tried to heat it up, went back to sleep, and then it rang on its own again at 5 o'clock in the morning. So that was crazy. That was the storm we had. Trees everywhere. Bad news. But hey, I hadn't seen one like that in a while, and it was pretty crazy. Steve Bruce, how you doing? Great job with PR. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. The car show. Hashtag the car show. I'm trying, man. They can't avoid us forever. We are, I'm not saying we are the main show. Don't confuse that. Some people say that I'm trying to say we're more important than the fuel cars. No, we're not the show. We are the car show. That's what we are, okay? Get it right. Use that hashtag if you want. I'm listening. Nick Ryder, there he is. How you doing, Ryder? Clark Dukas. Hello from Omaha, Nebraska. Man, awesome. Excellent. Love it. Eric Smith, how you doing? Don Kennedy. Always great weather in Tennessee. Don Kennedy down there in Tennessee, enjoying his life. Roy Scribner, always great weather there in Oregon. I've never been in the state of Oregon. It's something I gotta get to. Never. I don't think I've ever been. I don't even think I've ever flown. I don't think I've ever been in that state of Oregon. But maybe I gotta make it happen. Driverinterviews.com is the website. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you could. Helps us all out here. Gets this video out to more people. Driverinterviews.com is the website if you want to purchase hats or stickers or shirts, anything of that nature. Let me know. I'd be happy to send them to you. Lupe Tortilla really stepping up here in 2023. Can't thank them enough. Stan and Sheila Holt allowed me to travel to multiple races this year, getting a lot of content, growing this channel. Actually, I'll tell you right now, we reached 1.7 million on Facebook. That was a 185% increase over last year. And we reached 10 million people on YouTube. That was a 52% increase over last year. So hoping to make 2024 even better, but I could not have done that without Lupe Tortilla. I appreciate it. I couldn't have done it without Drag Insights as well. Go to app.draginsights.com. Get your stats going. Start monitoring them. You have to pay attention here. It's so hard to win nowadays. Don't go into the race without proper preparation. Okay, proper preparation prevents poor performance. That's what my uncle used to say. So do that by going on Drag Insights, app.draginsights.com. Get your subscription. Rob Youngblood, advancedclutches.com. Thank you, Rob Youngblood, for your help this year. If you want to get a clutch in your car, you want to switch, you want a 4-speed, you want a 5-speed, you're tired of driving the automatic and doing nothing while going down the track, hit up Rob Youngblood and he can get you set up. Don Kennedy Race Car Insurance. Thank you, Don, for 2023 and 2022 and 2021, because this whole thing was his idea for me to go to the track and start interviewing racers. This wouldn't be possible without Don Kennedy, and your car can't be insured without Don Kennedy. So 602-284-6240 is his phone number. He can get you all set up. ondonkennedy@gmail.com. All right, hit him up. Who's out here? Who's out here? We got a lot of people chiming in. I love it. I love it. James Grizzy. Hi, Bobby. How are you doing, James? I appreciate you chiming in here. Dennis Chapman, loyal listener. Hi, Dennis. Hope that front-wheel drive car is ready for 2024. I can't say can't, but thanks for chiming in. I appreciate it. Jay Tittle. Jay from South Dakota. Great job at PRI. Not snowing here yet. Wow, South Dakota. I know there's a lot of snow in that area, right? Happy holidays, Mike Smith. Darian Houston. What's up, guys? Hope everyone's having a great holiday season. Darian Houston was hanging with Mark Osborne today. Remember him from Pro Stock Racing? 19 drag strips less than 5 hours away. That's great news there, Don. I hope you hit every single one of them this year. The Real Car Show. There you go. I like it. I like it. Lots of go fast parts under the tree. Yeah, right? My wife always wanted a couple Mustang parts, right? That's the way you got to Christmas shop when you're a racer. Get things, you got to get dual use out of everything. Casey Miles is in the house. How you doing, Casey? Merry Christmas. Sportsman from mid-Michigan, Dave Catt. There he is. Walter Gamble. How you doing, Walter Gamble? I won't. Don't worry. Thanks for joining us. Anthony Lombardo. This is Mr. Fuel Factor X right here. As you can see, his logo right there in the on the side. He's a representative of that product. Parker Theobald. Congratulations, everybody. Let's congratulate Parker Theobald doing one of the coolest baby announcements I've ever seen. Did you guys get a load of this? I posted it on I shared it. He posted it on Instagram. I shared it to my Instagram channel. Parker Theobald takes his stocker, his C-Stock automatic Plymouth Barracuda, does a burnout. In the middle of the burnout, toward the end of the burnout, it was a pretty long burnout. Poof! You see the smoke come out that indicates that he's having a baby girl. So everybody, let's congratulate Parker Theobald on that wonderful accomplishment. Congratulations, Parker Theobald. Good guy, out from the West. Tough stock eliminator racer. Jegs All-Star, I might add. 69 Barracuda, I believe. 440. 4-barrel. Greg Scott, how you doing, Greg? Nice to see you. Gary Ewing, there he is. Awesome 69 Camaro there Gary Ewing has. Merry Christmas, Gary. George Wright, hello from the Motor City. What's up, George? Thanks for tuning in, buddy. Appreciate it. I saw that baby announcement, Parker. Yeah, that was some good stuff, Parker Theobald. All right. A couple more sponsors, and we will get to it tonight. Fuel Factor X. Increase your fuel mileage, guys, and talk to Anthony Lombardo. Send him a message if you have any questions about it. The link is in the show notes here. Advanced fuel treatment for any diesel or gas engine. You can put it in your motorhomes. You can put it in your motorcycles, generators, trucks, whatever you got. It'll take it. It helps the fuel burn at a different temperature, thus getting you more gas mileage and a little bit more power. And, if you get better gas mileage, you're burning less fossil fuel, I guess we could say. So you're also going green in the process on top of saving money. So hit me up if you want to know more about that. PontiacEngines.com. Bruce Fulper. Usually in the house on Tuesday nights. Bruce Fulper, the founder of that 428 cubic inch Pontiac combo that many people like to run in super stock. CP Carrillo Pistons, Rick Pennington, CP Carrillo. They helped us out this year, and we really appreciate it. So hit up Rick if you need a set of pistons. There's his email address right there, rpennington@cpcarrillo.com. And last but not least, Total Seal Piston Rings. Coming through in the clutch this year. We appreciate it. You can hit up Lake Speed. We're probably going to have him on for another tech segment. It'll be our third go-round with Lake Speed, but we always learn something when we have him on, and it's always enjoyable. He's a very smart guy. Very, very cool, energetic personality. That's why we like to have him on. All right. Hey, Walt Walker's in the house. Let's get him on. He can do a little bit of talking so I can catch my breath. How you doing, Walt? How was your day?
Good. Merry Christmas, everybody. How are y'all? Well, how are you, Bobby? I guess everybody can answer. But
they can all answer, sure. Merry Christmas. Yeah, I like that shirt, that Slick 50 racing shirt you got on there.
It's champions. So we got old Edmund and Scotty on here. Yeah, it's a little throwback. Can't go too low. You don't wear pants on these Zoom calls, so can't go too low. But right? You can see the shirt.
There were fun times back then with the Slick 50. How many other sponsors? I mean, we could have a whole episode based on like how all them cool sponsors we used to have back in the day when I was a little kid. I mean, Walt's older than me, so when Walt was a little kid,
The Budweiser sponsor, they had cars in every category, and Castro GTX had everybody. That was pretty cool. We need to bring that back.
Don't we?
We need to get Bobby Fazio on every car out there.
That beautiful face. See that beautiful face right there? That could be on your car. Oh, man. Well, if we keep promoting the car show, Walt, and get it in front of more eyes, get more attention on it, get more people coming out to see it, then, as you know, when you know, eyeballs are up, demand is up, sponsorship will increase. There's no, there's a return on investment then, and that's the whole point of this. So let's keep it going, dude. And thanks for joining me.
Yeah, this is getting to be a habit. I guess if I can get home on Tuesday nights and help you out a little bit, I don't mind doing it.
Yeah, well, we appreciate it. The listeners appreciate it as well. And we will have Kyle Rizzoli joining us tonight also. And he's going to tell us all about his championship run there this year. That kid dominated, huh?
Yep. He was super dominant. Started the year super hot and kept it going throughout the year. So, had a dream year, I'm sure.
I know. Maybe we can trick him up into giving us some pointers for racing techniques tonight.
Apparently,
somebody at the Rizzoli house, give him a few shots before he comes on. Oh, Walt's already gone.
Yeah, I'm sorry. What did you say?
All right, we only have one birthday this week from this past week, and it is Terry Nolan on December 13th. So happy birthday, Terry Nolan. This is out of the Drag Insights master calendar. If you're on Drag Insights and you click the home page, brings you to the calendar that has NHRA racing and MRA racing, big money events. I'm sure the pro shootout is on there. Things of that nature. If you want to plan out your NHRA national divisional events or even your NMCA stock, super stock showdowns, whatever you got, it's all on that calendar, as well as member birthdays. So happy birthday, Terry Nolan. We appreciate you signing up for Drag Insights.
Yep. Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Well, I got a question for you, sir. I got a question for you.
Okay.
All right. You ready for this one?
Ready as I'm going to be.
All right. So here's a situation now. I was told by reading a Daryl Boreski Facebook post. Should national opens, I know they don't count toward AHFS penalties. Okay, you can go as fast as you want. You will not get penalized there. However, should that data still be retained to prevent a combo from getting a horsepower reduction at the end of the year? So if you, in this case, I read somebody went like 120 under at an open, but stayed 55 under at divisionals and races where AHFS was on, and actually got a horsepower reduction. What do you think about that?
Well, I think that the racer will adjust to whatever the rules are. So if it counts towards your average or count towards you not getting the horsepower off, if a guy worked on getting horsepower off all year, he's not going to go to a national open and ruin it. So I mean, the racers are just smarter than that. But it'll kind of destroy some of the incentive of going to the national open and going fast and setting records. And once again, we've talked about it numerous times that we want to set records and we want to have records in a national dragster and recognized for records. Well, if a guy doesn't have an incentive or a deterrent to set a record, then we'll see less of it. And we don't see many now.
Well, he wouldn't be penalized. Remember, I'm not saying the racer would be penalized. And
no.
And forewarning here, like I am a total chess game fan. Whatever the rules are, I'm cool. I don't ever hate the player. If I hate the game, I tell you all right here that what I think about it. So what I'm saying is, if you go fast at an open, but you go 55 under all rest of the year, should you get that horsepower reduction? Should you be able to submit your combo and get it reduced since you stayed under the 55 under threshold at divisional events, but you showed your hand at an open, and everybody knows what your car is capable of running, that it's capable of running 120 under. That was the point that was brought up on Facebook, and I thought it was I'd never seen that happen before. So I was like, it really sparked my curiosity.
It makes absolute sense what you're saying, because there are combinations that we know can be fast, and people may run them slow or whatever. But like I'm saying, if you go into it knowing, hey, look, I'm gonna write this letter. I've ran my stuff slow for 7 months out of the year. They're just not gonna go to the open and run it fast.
You would think, right?
You
You would
would
think.
think they're just not gonna, if they know ahead of time. And I mean, and that's something you got to be, NHRA, I would hope, would be transparent about that and say, hey, look, if you're gonna go, then let it go.
Yeah, it's crazy. I was like, I know it was a good topic for discussion for sure. Well, Craig is going to ask. Yeah, Craig, you better grow your
Yeah.
beard, dude.
Hey, I got this call about going on the show 20 minutes ago, so I did 4 minutes of research, and you got me all scruffy, Craig.
He's lying. He had a week to prepare. He had a week to get a razor out. Strutmaster, hey Rich, how you doing? Richard Boyle. Rich, are you still driving that? You going to be driving that big block Camaro? Did you sell it? What's the deal? All right. Well, next question is, well, it was a question until I found out today. D2 is going to have quarter mile options at National Opens, because people only set records at National Opens because there is no horsepower hit there. But Division 2 National Opens were all 8th mile, as far as I knew. I don't know how many Opens you guys have in D4. I know you got that one at Belrose at the end of the year.
One.
Is it just the one? Okay.
Yep.
The West Coast, I don't know how many they have. I know there's one at Indy in D3. I know there's.
I think Formosa might have one out west, but we got a guy coming on later that can tell us.
Yeah, you're right. Good idea. So my point was, if if they don't have that many Opens to really set them at, or if they do have one Open, but it happens to be in July at like a track that's 1,500 feet above sea level, should they be allowed to put an R on their window at a divisional on a Thursday test and tune? Put the R on the window and it not count toward the AHFS, or is that already a thing? I'm not really sure.
I don't know if that's a thing. Most of the testing tunes in this area are track run, so they're not officially NHRA runs, right? So if they don't count towards anything NHRA, they can't count towards the rest. But that might be something up for discussion with some division directors and stuff like that. We may be able to bring that to the table. Of course, same thing like with a National Open. You come to divisional testing tune Thursday, you set the record. You have to tear down,
right?
And tear down. Maybe some people tear down and leave. Some people tear down and try to put this stuff back together. I don't know.
I'm always impressed by. That's what I was talking about. Thursday at our divisionals on Thursdays in Division 1, it's always test and tune day, and you can I believe put an R on your window and try to set a record at that. But I don't think too many people choose to do it at a divisional because it's you don't want to get that horsepower hit. So that's why I'm saying, if you put the R on your window on a Thursday, can the AHFS just like be off for that? Was what I was suggesting. I don't know the full pros and cons of that though, so maybe people can comment and tell us what they think about that.
And it's up for discussion that the other person will say, if every time we go fast, it's when the horsepower adjustment is off, will it ever fix itself?
Yeah,
that's another,
that's the never-ending debate, right?
Yeah, that's the never-ending debate. It always have two sides to that coin.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Billy Ryder, how you doing, buddy? Thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. Darian Houston, quick poll tonight. Show of likes and comments made on this episode tonight. All right, Darian Houston poses us a question. We always like when he poses us a couple questions here and there. Walt, how did you do with your Tracy Dennis Memorial Rising Star votes? Do we know anything?
I have no idea. Yeah, I have no idea. But keep voting. I don't even know when it ends, but as long as it's open and it accepts your vote, keep voting. Why not?
Do we have that link? If somebody still has the link, because I'd have to find it again. Walt, if you got it,
it's on my Facebook page. It's on the Super Stock Racers Facebook page. So, or Super Stock, however I got it worded. But yeah, it's on that Facebook page, and it's easy to find.
Well, excellent.
Go out and vote, and the banquet is January 13th. So,
all right, we got a little bit of time.
Yep.
A little bit of time. I also want everybody to know, because even though Walt and I put up the all the new horsepowers last week, the new and old horsepowers of the combos that got changed, there were also blueprint and combo updates, and they're on NHRAracer.com. So go in there and check and make sure that your blueprints haven't changed. I heard somebody saying his weight break changed on his, I think it's a Pontiac combo or something. And just double check. You might want to go into the stock car classification and just double check your combo. Make sure everything is accurate in there. Because if it's not accurate in there and you don't catch it, I think you're at fault, believe it or not. So you just might want to double check that. Make sure your blueprints haven't changed,
Right.
and make sure your combo hasn't been updated, if you will. Or there could be a new combo for you to race. I saw some added to the guide. So you might want to check all that.
Did you see the grade point on NHRA Racer? They were suggesting that everybody check and double check your grade points right now, because the NHRA offices will be closed through the holidays, and I think Gainesville opens on the 2nd or 3rd.
January 3rd, I believe.
So it's January 3rd, and the offices will be closed until the 2nd. So you don't have much time. You know how Gainesville fills up. So you might want to check and double check and call California before they close up for holidays.
Yes, because you guys all know Gainesville. What does Gainesville fill in? Like 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes?
You gotta be on it, yeah.
And we still don't know. I mean, people were trying to use a transfer credit there last year, and they had raised the entry fee from what, $340? Is it $350 now? I don't even remember. It went from $330 to $340, or $340 to $350.
I think it's $360.
They didn't have the credit card with them to pay the $10. They had to run and go get the credit card and came back, and that was cool.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a tough one. So make
I
sure
really
you
wish some of those races they would look at raising the quotas for it.
So it was 50 last year in stock and super stock, I think, for the Gator Nationals. But Super Street, I think, was there last year. They're not going to be there this year. So that's one less category. But FX might be there this year. They weren't there last year. Now, how many FX cars are there, though? Like 6?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. All right. Well, we gotta see if Jeff Turk's offering up rides, sponsored rides. Walt, you got a lot of friends.
Yeah, that might be up for discussion. I had a conversation with him in PRI, and yeah, bring money.
Did he say how much?
No, he didn't say bring, but bring money and a helmet, and you might be able to get in there.
All right, I got a helmet, and
that part we both have.
You got that part, right?
We got that part beat.
It's still Snell 015 or whatever. It's still good, but the money part, all right. Darian Houston, is there any real interest in trying to have legit stock, super stock race for big money? Tyler Bohannon, Don Kennedy, Brad Smith, Elite Motorsports. Where y'all at?
So I'm assuming Darian doesn't think 30 grand is big money.
I guess he does, but I guess that Darian, what do you think of the 30 grander? Or do you want one that everybody can attend because the 30 grander is invitation only? Maybe he's talking about more for all of us to be able to participate in. Those are hard ones. Those are tough ones to have, Walt. I've seen people try to have them. People have success with them. I've seen a couple of them just not get the participation that they were looking for. So I don't know, man. What do you think about that? What would you think the best case scenario is for one of those?
Yeah, I'd have to get Tyler Bohannon. I think he seemed pleased with his turnout, but it's just hard. It's hard. It's majority of stock super stock races are NHRA born and bred, and a lot of them don't want to crank their car up unless they go into an NHRA event or they have a chance to win a Wally. So it's really hard to kind of break that mode of tradition. But maybe we can get. I guess I'm trying to get everybody on your show, but maybe I can get Tyler Bohannon on here to kind of talk about what he's experienced on that. He's way more experienced in that than me.
I think. I mean, I 100% agree with you. It's a different breed. Like, you build a class car, you build a stock or super stock car. I think to do that, to achieve those NHRA accolades, to win the Wallies, to get the points, to do all of that. I know that's why I built one. I don't like if it's a race like that and it's for good money, like if it was paying like, you know, 10, 20, $30,000 to win,
Right.
I'm probably going to do it. If the entry fee is $1,000, I don't know if I could swing that, but I guess it would take some, you know, I might. It's a hell of a payout.
Right.
Um,
Right.
I think with these races though, they're you have to overcome everything that NHRA doesn't have to. It seems like sometimes people will find reasons to not go to one of these races when they will
Right.
find every reason in the book to go to the NHRA race, even though they'll complain about it and blah blah blah. But like
Right.
things that they
Right.
will plans that they would cancel to go to an NHRA race, they will definitely not cancel to go to a race like this. And I
Yep.
just haven't quite figured that out yet.
Yep. Yep. It's very true. It's what we know. It's tradition. I mean, you kind of know when Maple Grove's race is gonna be. You kind of know. So in January, I mean, right now we know when all the nationals are, and they're normally around the same week of the year every year. So people plan their stuff around that. They start planning, you know, 14 months in advance or sometimes. So I don't know. And you know, those of us that would go, let's just say like Gainesville used to be the second week in March for 20, 25 years. It was the second weekend in March. So you just knew it was going to be the second weekend in March. So it was nothing to think about. So I don't know.
I think you I think, and I'm not a race promoter, but I'm thinking the best bet would be to double one of those big money races up with an open or something like that. If there's an open in a weekend and you can sneak that big money race in the day before it or the day after, because I feel like if people are going to the open,
Yeah.
they'll beat on the car for the open. I think they'll beat on the car to try and win the 30 grand is
Yeah.
or 20 grand or whatever it is, in my opinion. People that don't go to opens, I don't usually like to beat on my stuff at an open. Some of those people might not want to beat on their stuff at one of these. Now, I'm the kind of guy that I don't really want to beat on in an open unless I need the grade point, but I will if it's the big money, 20 grand or whatever, and the entry fee
Yep.
is somewhat affordable, like $500, you know, or less. I'll definitely do it. If it's $1,000 to win like 30 grand, then it's something I've got to think about and make sure I have my stuff is running great and I have a shot at winning.
Yep.
You know, so I just
That's something we
it
can
did,
look at. I need to
yeah.
check something here. Kyle just if I disconnect, I'll reconnect. I need to check something real quick.
Sure, you go ahead.
Live TV.
Live TV, that's all right. I'm gonna keep talking about my beliefs here because here's another aspect of this. Hey, Fast Eddie's in the house. How you doing, buddy? Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. Hope you're being safe out there. Hope you're safe where you are. Um, it's a little different for class cars than it is for, let's say, like .90s. They can build like a nice bulletproof piece that they can put like several hundred runs on in a year. They can hit the NHR events. They can hit their association events. They can hit, and we have a good .90 association in Division One that Rob Keister runs, and he's got a good loyal following. I just think that the purpose built class car is a little different than the purpose built .90 car. The parts, you know, it's
Facts. Yeah.
for the majority, that's a big block Chevy that is just made to last all throughout the year with bulletproof stuff. Whereas we all have different combos, pieces,
Right.
parts.
We count runs, they count years, probably.
Right. There you go.
I ran it for 3 seasons. I need to freshen it up. Well, we're counting runs and you know how many times did we run heads up with no oil in it, that type of stuff. So it's a little different. It's a little different, but maybe we can work on something.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Tom Baker says
We
he'll run his on the streets if you got cash.
I'm sure he will.
Right? He's
Don't wreck
crazy
my
enough.
car before I come up there, Tom.
No, Tom. don't ruin Walt's ride there. I like the idea of class racer revival type race. I want to see an old school NHRA sportsman style race. I want guys from all over to come to this. and be attractive for class racers. That'd have to be somewhat centrally located, I guess, or you want good track, good air. There's a lot. Like I said, people are going to be looking for reasons.
It's a lot. And like I said, we need to. We'll touch on that. I give Tyler Bohannon a call because in Division 3, it's a lot of stock, super stock races, and that's where he's pretty much been doing his stuff. And we need a real response. I mean, we're estimating and guesstimating and figuring, but Tyler has been there, done that, and hopefully he continues to do it. But he knows exactly he firsthand what it's all about.
I think when he put it on a Tuesday in between the national and divisional at St. Louis, and that's a huge car count week. I think that was a good move on his part. I don't know if there's any updates, Anthony, for the stock super stock series in Division 1, the East Coast series that was run by Dave Lay for many years. I'm waiting to hear something. If anybody else hears anything, let me know so I can put it out here. And Darian wants things like it used to be, and he's a young guy that wants things like it used to be. Darian can't be 25, 28 years old. I mean, he's a young guy, but Darian, we'll keep that, that topic going in the back of our minds. It's something that we can talk about for, hours and hours. And we only have about a half hour left. And we got the 2023 Stock Eliminator World Champion about to come on. So, Walt, you ready to say hello to Mr. Kyle Rizzoli?
I am.
All right, let's see if we can bring him in here. Kyle Rizzoli, you there, buddy?
Riz. There's
What's
the champ.
going on, guys?
I gotta work on the sound effects thing. Like,
hey, yeah. We need the cheers. Congratulations, champ.
Crew, Bobby. Where's your crew to give me that cool intro?
Right? Yeah, you're right. I could hold the microphone out and they can all cheer for me. Yep. They were all cheering for you this year, pal. You had a great year.
Oh yeah. Appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah. It's still setting in that we pulled it off. It's pretty cool feat.
It should have been setting in since May. I mean, we talked in Riz and I talked in May, and he come down to Ennis and was kind of finishing his first half run, and I'm like, hey, I'm putting in my T-shirt order now for the championship deal because the points total was ridiculous by that time of year.
It wasn't, and not even just stock; it was super stock too.
Yeah. To be able to to pull off in one, but then at the end of the season, we had a legitimate shot going into Pomona, and except for that damn Wyatt Wagner guy that kept winning. That guy. Pretty much I went into Pomona thinking I had to win the race to win the championship, but I ended up losing the final to him, even though it was mathematically locked before that. But to be able to do it, to have such a good year in both cars, really cool feat, and just have that kind of consistency, year over year. It's challenging, to finish high in one car, and it's really hard to do it in two, and let alone win two championships in two. So.
Yeah, and that was pretty much in Superstock. I was friends with Wyatt, but I was kind of rooting for the deal. With Mr. Gaynor passing and you driving the car that he drove and stuff like that, it would have been really fitting to finish it off in the car that he drove. That would have been pretty neat. But you did an excellent job all year.
Yeah, well, thank you. Yeah, the Gaynor, obviously Tommy Gaynor and I have been friends for a long time. And beginning of the year, it was literally 2 weeks before the Phoenix division race. I broke my super stock engine on the dyno. So I went into panic mode going like, I can't obviously get it fixed in time. And as he worked out a deal with Tommy to hop into the Cobalt, and entered into the Phoenix divisional, never even sat in the car ever. So, a lot of this year was just learning the car and getting used to it. I think I finally figured it out in Pomona, and now I have to give it back. So, to the fact that I got to drive it all year, it was a phenomenal car, and to do it with Tom, Tommy, and then I know Tom was there with me on a lot of runs because there was a lot of races where I was like, I shouldn't have won that round, and I did everything I could to lose that round, and the win light still came on. So I literally be going through the finish line, patting the dashboard, thanking Tom, and he almost got us there, but we'll take a third place.
Yep.
Now, Kyle, you're driving that Stalker that you drive, A stock automatic 69 Camaro, right? A 396 combo, I believe.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
That car is owned by who?
Dave Bridgewater. Yeah, and technically Dave and I are partners in the car now. But Dave was the original owner, and he.
Can you speak on that relationship? How did that all come about?
Yeah. So I initially came into stock, and I had a 67 Camaro with a 350 in it that I just wanted to race bottom bulb. I had no idea what I was doing. My dad had never done it. We came across this car. I bought this car from Larry Eriksmoen, and that was, shoot, man, that had to be like 15 years ago. Feels like a long time ago. And brought that car out, and it was slow. Like it would go like 20, maybe 30. Well, I remember one year at Vegas National at the end of the season, I had to hop it up because it was actually when there was over 128 cars, the divisional. I had to hop it up just to qualify, which was like literally, it was like to go 40 under, I had to hop it up to make the field.
Yeah.
And I had some limited success in it, but I realized real quick that I needed a more competitive car. And I think in the one off season, my dad and I were, well, we could just go in and rebuild the motor, and we'll make it faster. And of course, my dad came from top alcohol dragster world. Well, we go in there, and there's all these fancy tricks and everything else that these stock, at least a good stock linear motor has. And my dad's like, I don't know what the hell I did this, so he just threw it all away. We put it back together. Well, we proceeded to make it barely run the index. So we realized real quick that we needed some help and some mentorship. And Dave Bridgewater, out here on the West Coast, is just he's just a gregarious, wonderful guy and has a lot of cars. And at one of the races, he bought this car from Dale Howard, which was it was actually yellow before it. It was a past division champion car. And I already knew he didn't have someone to drive it. He was just buying it because he liked 69 Camaros. So I literally just walked up to him and I asked him, like, hey, what's your plan with the car? And I kind of proposed the deal, where I would tow the car around, handle all the expenses, on that. But if he'd help me with, the car and helping me learn. And for some reason he said yes. I'm not sure why. But the relationship has just grown. He treats me like a son now. It's like I talk to him probably once a week. It's much more than just a race car owner and race driver. It's more like a father-son. I guess I was really fortunate. His sons are also into motorsports and not drag racing. So they were not, and they're about my same age. So he needed a drag race son, and I was just the right place at the right time is all I can say.
Cool. You mentioned your dad, and those who don't know, Jim Rizzoli, alcohol guy, driven alcohol work. I can't go to a race that he's at, and you go up there with alcohol. He's going to be up there somewhere helping somebody. He was at PRI with alcohol guys. So, and your super stock car, technically the one that you're partnered with the Whiteleys, right? So you're bottom bulbing, but you're partnered with alcohol people, and your dad's alcohol guy. Why aren't you in an alcohol car?
Well, I did drive an alcohol car for 2 seasons with my dad. My dad and I, we built an A-fuel car.
Okay.
And that was back in 2012, 2013. And I was actually racing Bridgewater's car and the A-fuel car at the same races, which I thought was the coolest combination ever. You hop out of the, at that point, hop out of the Stalker where you're literally wearing pajama pants and doing big old wheel stands, and then hop into the A-fuel car. You have put on every single piece of safety equipment, feel like you're getting shipped off to the moon, go out and you'll go 5.2 seconds at 270 miles an hour. We had a great, couple seasons, but it's just, I don't know if you know, but they're a lot of work and a lot of money. And of course, Dad and I, we're we did everything on our own. Like, so I was doing the clutch on the A fuel car, driving it, plus driving the stalker. And I actually like to tell people it wasn't actually the work at the track. It was the work that we had to do at home. And like, so constantly cutting clutch discs, you know, so given the right opportunity, I would totally do it, you know, but my biggest thing is I want to race for championships, you know?
Right.
So, and that's where I love where I'm at with in stock and super stock right now is, obviously we race at a very high level, and we have any race we go into, we know we have potential to win. And if I'm going to move up into any higher class, that I want that same opportunity. I don't
not doing it. You're just not doing it to go fast. You want to be competitive.
I'm a racer. I just want to win.
Yeah.
You know, going fast was really fun though. You know, I would recommend if you ever get the opportunity to drive one of those A fuel cars. You know, when they take off and all the holes are lit and that clutch locks up about 330 foot, that thing, it goes into warp speed for about half track.
Yeah.
You know, right about 1,000 foot, you'd catch up to it, and they'd be like, "Oh, dang, this thing's quick." Highly recommended, 5 stars if you could work a deal.
Okay.
Well, just to show you how killer you were this year in stock and super stock while we're at it, Kyle. Okay, so stock eliminator, A stock automatic 2023. Dragon Sights has your round win percentage at 79.66%. So 59 total rounds, 47 rounds won, 6 final rounds I have on here, and stock eliminator. That's pretty amazing stuff, man. That's like obviously world championship worthy right there.
That's good. I'm assuming that's good for everyone else.
That's very, very, very good. I mean, good racers have win percentages in the high 60s to high 70s. Yours was 79.63. So yours is about as high 70 as you can get. Or 79.66. I'm sorry. In super stock, you were 79.63. I've never seen a driver in 2 different categories with 2 different cars like this be that close together in win percentage. And your average reaction time in stock was 0.30. Your average reaction time in super stock was 0.29. That's amazing. And the only way you can better reaction time doesn't count red lights. So you're not going to better your reaction time average with the red lights. So those are consistent, good green lights. So, I mean, got some good stuff there. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those years, you know, it's so hard. You know, you got to have the racing gods on your side. And I would definitely say we had the racing gods on our side. You know, there were all the races that, that typically come down to thousands and are 50-50. I felt like almost all those went my way this year. I mean, same thing when stock, you know, I didn't lose a heads up all year, which part of that's been hard work on the engine program, you know, building up over the last 3 or 4 years and making the car extremely fast. But as you know, in stock limiter, you got to win those heads ups. You know, those are huge game changers. Yeah, no, I mean, this year just kind of rolled, and obviously it's got to. Well, I rode the wave all year. I think when I was talking to you, Walt, and at the beginning, Dallas was like, you know, always asking me, "What the heck are you doing here?" I was like, "Well, I'm hot. I'm just riding the wave."
Right, you did.
I mean, I think I had, in my mind, the one bad race I had all season was Bakersfield Divisional after I came back after sitting out for 4 months. You know, weird. I was a little rusty, and just I let the nerves kind of get to me. But it was also just I hadn't raced in 4 months, you know.
Right.
So I guess I still did end up winning the super stock race on Sunday, which I drove like crap. And that was once again racing gods on my side. But that just gave me the confidence, because we literally left straight from there to go back to Dallas National. That just that internal confidence, like, okay, I can deal with the pressure. I could deal with the nerves, you know, especially racing for the championship, and, you know, settled in, and obviously had a great weekend in Dallas.
Yeah. Now, are you getting thank you cards for all the rounds that you went, with a 396, 375, and y'all didn't get horsepower. I'm sure you're on everybody's Christmas list.
I was really proud. I would like to thank all the 396 guys out there that we did a good job this year.
You did.
And I especially beginning of the season, I had the car set up to be going, 80, 85 under. And then of course every red light, every opportunity I could lift and try to get a 65 under run. Like, it's so funny when you see guys high-fiving when you get the 66 under runs.
Right.
So stupid.
It's like dead zero or whatever. Yep.
And it's like you literally have to know how to get to that 65 or pretty much like 66 to 68 under number, because it's huge to help the average. And with how many runs I make, I know I do have a lot of control. I mean, I can kill it real quick. So definitely glad I can help out, but also glad about the teamwork. I always get, Jimmy DeFrank, Jerry Emmons, we're always talking,
Right.
and, there's always someone on the shit list, that's.
Well, and that's what I told the Emmons boys. I said, y'all got 3 or 4 of them, right? So for somebody who goes fast, y'all can make 3 runs and fix it because they have so many. And then, I mean, you did a good job. I mean, across the board, you guys did a good job with controlling that. And as many runs as you made, obviously you made more runs than anybody with that combination. So,
yeah, well, I always go back to like Joe Santangelo and like those guys. Like, it's same thing. It's like we're running such a high volume of runs. Like we can help it, and typically as long as you race smart, and you don't need to be number 1 qualifier all the time, but sometimes you got to be number 1 qualifier. And like Dallas Divisional, second race, we went to the top because we saw an opportunity and we saw an early round buy and we knew what was going on for the championship. So we did, so having the power to do that and doing it in the right situations, not just to, show off your ego, but to use it because it's a powerful tool to have a fast car, but if you just, kill your index and kill your average early, what are you going to do?
No, I'm impressed to say the least, but because I said I posted about that, I said you could put 400 Chevy or Mopar guys in a room and they'll find a way to keep an average down. You put 5 Ford racers in a room, they're going to argue about who's the fastest and they're going to prove it to you on a red light victory. So that's just the way it is, man. That's pretty cool.
From Bobby, who got horsepower this off season.
Yeah. I didn't even get my car out. So I know Walt's probably going to ask you, were you a blocker up until this year where you had to like adjust that, or were you just like a natural full tree racer?
Yeah. I blocked the other side of the tree. But I wasn't a blinder racer. But that was definitely a big adjustment. Because just being able to block the main, and I would actually say, like when you're telling my averages for my lights this year, like I had some good times where I had some good run of lights, but I would also have just a couple where did that light come from kind of thing. And a big thing too, especially leaving second, and a big reason why I blocked out the other side of the tree for years was actually to block out the red light from the other guy. Because to me, that's the most distracting thing ever when you're leaving second and then you see the red light. Your brain immediately like changes,
right?
And then you don't know where you leave, and
right, you don't know how to adjust off of that.
Yep. So I think, especially once I got going up later in the season, like I know where the cars are at, I know where I'm at, and so like there's a couple times I have red light and be like it pop up 60, and I'm like I wasn't 60, I'm set up like 15 or 20, but you have to be like, okay, that was a red light, throw it out and just go hit it the same. Don't try to come back and make that 60 into light, because if you do that, you're going to go red.
Right.
That was the hardest part, in my opinion, is having the red lights that kind of throw you off in the middle of the racing, because right about when you get in your rhythm, you have a good run of lights in a row, and then you get that red light, or you get the something goofy you catch out of the corner of your eye, and you have a weird light. You have to have confidence in yourself and your car and where you're set up. So that definitely, like I said, I think if you look at my reaction times overall, it wasn't one of my better years in general. I think I drove solid, but I wasn't, like, in my mind, nasty.
Right. Right. And that affects both sides, right? So there's certain people that came into this game 10, 15 years ago that's all they knew was blocking and blinding, right? So some of those lights we can get away with because the other person is struggling also. So it obviously worked out for you.
Oh, for sure. And my opinion on the rule is I completely understand, like, from a safety standpoint, driving around the pits and that kind of thing, but I still don't understand why can't you just have a rule like, okay, you can put it up when you're in the burnout box and it has to be down by the time you pull off the track,
Right. Or don't show up to the scales with it up, that type of stuff. It can be fixed. I'm just kind of glad when I started driving super stock a year and a half ago or whatever it was, Jerry Emmons was like, nope, you're not doing it. Don't put anything up. And I'm like, you've been doing it forever. What do you mean? He was like, nope, you're not doing it. We're not going to teach you any bad habits. So,
yeah. And I've always felt, blinding off the bottom was a crutch. And man, when you get it right and you can hit it and, all the conditions were right, yeah, you can be really, really good. But, looking at the tree open, and which is what I've done my whole career, obviously I don't care if I go into night, I don't care about what, all that different stuff.
Right.
So, Brad Plord and I talked a lot, and we've talked over the years, and I think Brad's the king of when something's not right, let's change something. And so, he'd go through periods of blocking and blocking, or the trees. My other favorite thing is like, hey, you've had, your lights really suck right now. What are you going to change? Like, I changed my helmet. So that's what he did. Like, because you're now nasty. He's like, yeah, I just changed my helmet. Or his other favorite one was he would just change shoes. And like I said, Brad is just a racing genius as it comes to that.
Yeah, I've heard things about shoes. Foot braking wise, yeah, I've heard things about shoes.
Yeah, but helmets, that's also one. So
yeah, I don't know.
How many helmets you got, Walt?
Minor thing. It's just a matter of, like, I don't care as long as everyone's following the rules. I don't like hearing when I'm, if people are having stuff or hiding stuff, or they're taped up a visor. It's like I'm gonna follow the rules. I did all year because obviously I knew I'd be on a microscope. Because I would sure as shit love to have my blinder to block out the other half, because I know I could be even better, than I was this year.
Right. I understand that.
The buy run. I always hated that you could see the red light comes on over there when you're on a buy run, and it's just like, I don't want to look at that. Don't want to look at that. And you see it, and it does. It'll throw your light off in a buy run. And when you usually get a buy run, like 4th or 5th round, when you're trying to cruise through to the final. And unless you're very confident and confident.
I wonder why the block on the tree just doesn't go all the way down.
Yeah, I've always wondered that.
Yeah, I guess so you could see that they go red, But I think that was the biggest reason for the detriment to my season and my lights, was not be able to see the red light again.
So you're saying we had it easy? Okay.
I could be better.
So you took it easy on us and dominated, and was at 665.9 points for half the season.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
But the one problem I had with after the Dallas divisional, we ended. I obviously lost to Plurd in the final, which I was like, whatever. Brad's a good racer. Come back, run Lopez in the final, and obviously we lose in the final to Lopez, and I'm like, whatever. We're really good on points. I didn't know the exact math in my head. I remember I get back to my trailer. I call Mangus. I was like, hey, what total are we at? And he's like, you're not going to want to hear this. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, 666. And I'm like, Shit.
Yeah.
Can't win a championship with that number. like you tell me, like if I would have beat Plurd or Lopez, one of those, I would have been at 687. Like I would have been like, it's done. Like there's no way no one's catching me. But for some reason in my head, because I was at 666, I was like, it's the devil. Like someone's gonna get me. And I mentally prepared myself the whole break that someone was gonna be there. So I had to just prepare myself that I was gonna have to fight.
Bobby cried all summer.
I had to say that number for weeks at a time. I'd be like, somebody tell Kyle Rizzoli to go run a race, please.
I know. And that's literally how I felt like I went to Bakersfield. I was like, dude, just win a round. Just get to 677.
I was praying for you. I really was.
Yeah. And I was talking to Austin Williams, and he said the same thing. He was like, dude, I lost a championship with 666. And I was like, I know. Like, so I was so happy when we finally got to 699.
Yeah.
Oof. So was
now,
I.
Did you put it out of reach at the Dallas National, or was there a little bit to play when you went out west?
Dallas National.
Because I checked out in May. I gave it to you in May, so I stopped paying as close attention. But go ahead.
Yeah, we locked out Strickland and Bohannon once I won third round, so I got to fourth round there.
Gotcha.
And those were the two guys that I was most worried about. So that was a big deal there. It mathematically didn't lock until the Vegas National, just because a couple guys, stragglers that had a bunch of races left. But that was the big one. And
that's two guys. I mean, Strickland chasing you. He knows how to get it done. And Tyler, there's no moment too big for Tyler. So, dude, that's too big one chasing you.
Yeah. The other thing with Bakersfield Divisional, when I was there, I was watching. That was when the St. Louis Double was going on at the same time, and Strickland wins the first day and was just driving ridiculous. Like he was like 20 dead on like every run.
Yeah, and his car is nasty.
How is he going to lose? Well, then I remember, but the second race, he gets freaking Cooter first round, and I'm like, oh sweet, this is the best thing that could happen. Well, he goes out there and freaking lights up Cooter first round. I'm like, he's gonna win the bitch. He's passing me, and I think he ended up losing third or fourth round. But Bohannon ended up winning, and that put him really close.
Yeah.
And I mean, to me, the round of the year was actually second round. I had Bohannon at the Dallas.
In Dallas, right? Yeah.
And that was a crazy round because we had a huge weather swing from the night before to that morning.
Yeah.
It was it was anywhere from 10 to 15 hundredths faster.
Right. Right. 100%.
What do you do? Have two guys like both, Tyler and I were us. We know how to drive the top end, and I mean, Bohannon was 15. I think I'm 32. And I came rolling around, and of course, in my mind, I'm either going dead on. I mean, I could be holding 5, I could be holding 10. I don't know. And so came around him, and obviously was lucky enough to get the wind light on. I did get a excessive warning, braking warning on that run, but it was well worth it, considering what needed to happen. And I had no idea how fast we were going on. I just knew it could be stupid fast. So if it was warning, that's the time to get it. So
it was crazy fast. And I'll just say, Bobby and I were there, and I mean, they're calling super stock, and I'm like, I'm not leaving. I was in second round of super stock. I'm not leaving until I see this run. This is, I mean, it was worth the price of admission to see two heavy hitters going at it. And I mean, the Motorplex ain't a great place to be hitting the brakes, and I knew there would be some brake hitting going on. So I don't know. It was a really good round.
Yeah. The funny part after that, I literally I called Plurd, and I was like, okay, I just got a brake warning. What happens if I get another one this race? What happens to this race? Yeah.
0.
Yep. So what happened? So after when we won third round, which pretty much locked out Strickland and Bohannon, I was literally dialed dead honest and was just making time lapse. Like I was like, I ain't touching that brake pedal. I don't care. Like even again, I had Emmons in the semis, and of course I know he's holding a ton, and I see him backing into me. And I'm like, give it back, and of course he stops the last second, ends up being like 2 thou in front of me. But I was like, I ain't touching the brake pedal. I ain't getting into this fight again, Jerry. So
yeah, y'all do have a little history on that, huh? Jerry was the one that was out.
Yeah,
that was a time.
Shame that wasn't a heads up round, man. Could have just
true
made that a whole lot easier. You got a couple comments here, dude. Chris Hall wants to be like Kyle Rizzoli when he grows up.
Oh, I want to drive a factory stock car just like Chris Hall.
Don Kennedy was asking about the purse for Stock World Championship. I know NHRA. What did they show up for that?
Well, 10K for the national.
10K. I think it's 15K for Super Stock. So
you got screwed.
You got
Because
you're in that amateur class of Stock Eliminator. That's the class that you run to learn how to race to move up to the harder classes, right?
Someday we'll make it.
Yeah.
Now, did you win the division in both also?
No. Well, I won in stock.
Okay.
Freaking Super Stock, I had ended up with 395, which a pretty stout total. But freaking Ryan McClanahan had like 415.
Oh
yeah. So just nuts. Like freaking Scott Burton or Brad Burton had like 392 and finished third in our division. So the upper level, like the top tier of guys on the West Coast, are just ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Justin Lamb and I had a running joke. Like no joke, like we raced each other like 10 times this year. And I think I barely edged him out. I think it was like 6-4, but it's like every race we had was just stupid good. Like every time we raced each other.
Yeah, it's about 5 of y'all that hoard all the points. Throw Jimmy DeFrank in there, and y'all hoard all the points out there.
We try.
Burton claimed Division 7 for Super Stock and Division 6 for Stock. He won the Stock Division Championship for Division 6 and then finished in third Division 7 for Super Stock. So,
well, you think about that Super Stock car that him and his dad drove. I mean, I think it had the most wins out of any car all year. It's just it was split between him and his dad. I mean, that car was really, really good all year. So,
guess what, Walt? I'm 1-0 against that car. And I hope you never race it again.
Take it. Yeah, that's a good car. It's really fast. I mean, obviously, he went to the top. He can go to the top whenever he wants. I mean, him and his dad built some really good, fast engines.
Yeah.
They do indeed, man. Well, we thank you for joining us tonight. And, dude, congratulations on that 2023 World Championship. Stock Eliminator. Killing it. Super Stock. Killing it. I mean, I don't know what to tell you with that. Oh, I do have one more question. At Pomona, what, final round of Super Stock?
Yeah.
Tell us what happened there. Was it broken? You knew it was broken? You just pull up to the line?
Yeah. So after second round, it broke number one exhaust rocker. And I was able to fix it, broke the trunnion bearing on it. So I was watching the rockers real close, which that's a LS platform engine, which I literally had no valve train issues all season. Mm-hmm. So I ran the valves after fourth round. Everything was perfect. We run the semis. The semi and final round was one of the shortest turns I've ever had in a national because they were behind schedule and they were trying to get us in. It was literally like 15 minutes. And the car slowed down 200s, is actually in the semis against Chris. And I didn't think much of it, but it was really weird because like the Cobalt, I mean, that thing was literally, you could dial to the 1,000th. Okay. So like to slow down 200s, I was like, that's weird, but whatever. I in the final going against Wyatt, I was like, I was going to dial up and I was going to get there because it was a really slow round. And didn't hear anything, drove it up there, didn't hear anything. Wyatt and I, we thrash, we get in our cars, pull up, do the burnout. And after the burnout, I could tell it's freaking hurt. It's run on 7. And it's like, it was the weirdest moment, like sitting there and I'm like, it's hurt. Yeah, no, it's hurt, and then it's like, what do you do? And it's like, of course, it's not my car.
Right.
I know it's a rocker, yeah, obviously this thing goes to 9,000 RPM. So it's not like,
yeah.
So like I said, just made the call just to stage and pray that Wyatt did something stupid. And of course, like all year, he didn't do anything stupid. So he was just a badass. I mean,
he was 10, so you were 11th out from making it work, I guess.
No, he was actually 40 there.
Oh, was he 40? I guess he was 10 earlier. Yeah, okay.
No, he was nasty the whole time.
Yeah.
I mean, he had a couple rounds there. Against Emmons, he was 10. He was like 11 pack. He was 11 pack a couple times. But
okay, yeah. Okay.
He had the sun in his eyes. He had a couple tricks from Pomona that he wasn't aware of. So I had him right where I wanted him. And then the one time the car let me down all year. But we'll let that slide.
Yeah. Now, who do you want to thank? I'm sure it's a slew of people.
Lots of people. Obviously, we talked about already. Dave Bridgewater, great car owner, love him. My wife, you can probably hear my son yelling in the background. My son Emmett.
That's the new guy.
New guy.
My little 5-month-old.
That's the new guy.
That's the new guy. My parents, Jim and Kay. They're at every race with me. Couldn't do it without their support. The Gaynor family, Tom, actually miss Tom a ton, but Tommy, his son Ty, who's actually going to be driving that car next year. He's turning 16.
Oh, wow. Oh, is he? Okay, yeah. He's a badass junior racer.
Yeah, yep. Not a bad car to step into. No pressure, Ty. And obviously, Megan Gaynor, Tommy's wife, John Gaynor. Tori Lee was my crew guy all year. Just helped me a ton. Drove the rig around, obviously getting it to Dallas so we could fly in and out. Huge. Hal Sorensen, he's been kind of just an engine mentor for me over the last 3 or 4 years, which I give him a lot of credit on how fast he is.
Yeah.
Yep. Got a great machine shop out here. Let's Go Industries. Stefan, Craig, Chris, those guys, they do all my machine work. I do all the assembly work. Hoosier Tire, Farron, Robert, those guys are awesome. Only tires I'll run on my door car. And, JB Doer's a petroleum company we do a lot of business with our shops. Help me out with race fuel and diesel. Rizzoli's Automotive, our 5 automotive shops. All our employees there. I think that's about it.
And whoever you forgot.
Thank that big tall guy that's always with you at the races. Who's that big tall friend of yours? He's like 7-footer.
Tori's pretty tall.
All right, so you already got him. Okay.
Yep. And then
everybody's 7 foot against compared to Bobby. So
I only have tall friends around me all the time anyway, for protection reasons.
Right?
So works out.
All right. Well, I can't thank you enough for coming on here, man. And hope you're feeling all right. And I noticed you're sneezing and coughing a little bit. You played through the pain tonight, and we appreciate that. And so do your fans and spectators here.
Yeah,
fans of this show.
Pleasure being here, guys. Obviously, you two do a great job. Bobby, I just love the voice and platform that you've created. Pretty cool. So whatever I can do to help you and support you, let me know.
All right. Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it. And Walt, as always, thank you, sir, for coming on.
Yep.
All
anytime.
right, guys.
Yeah.
Well, Christmas in 6 days. Everybody, finish your Christmas shopping. Rizzoli, you're newlywed. Finish your Christmas shopping, dude. I'll give you a tip right now. And Walt, you got a fiance. Definitely finish your Christmas shopping like yesterday. And everybody else,
she already got me. What else could she have? What else does she need?
Yeah. I like
she
that.
She got me. I got her a Wally the other week, so she's fine. She'll be all right. At least that's what I'm going with.
Good for you, man. Good for you. Where do you get a girl like that, man? Good for you. And everybody else out there, take care. Be careful. I don't know where you guys live. It's going to get cold here where I live, so be careful out there. All right, everybody. We'll see you hopefully No, I'm not going to see you before then. So Merry Christmas, everybody. And I'll see you on Tuesday, the 26th. All right. Take care.
All right.
Peace
Thanks,
out.
Kyle.
See you guys.